is for entertainment purposes only, not to be taken as legal advice. Welcome back, everybody. It's Thursday. Wow, the week moves by really quickly, but I'm excited to be here with you all today to go ahead and discuss a very important topic. This has been months in the making here at Creditor Academy, so we're excited to unveil how we're comparing the statutory business model versus the Creditor Academy Masterclass. I'm quite excited to break it all down for you step by step. But before we begin, if you have not hit that subscribe button or the notification bell on our YouTube channel or any of our other social media networks, now is the time to hit that subscribe button and follow us for more Creditor Academy content, where we're really happy if you call this place home. So first of all, I want to identify a huge issue that I've run into, many of the people at the Academy or come to the Academy run into, and I'm here to spell it out very clearly for you. And I'm here to give you this web of a roadmap. In the previous last week, we've been talking a lot about the merchant world, what it means to be a merchant, what it means to be a private merchant versus a public merchant. We're switching gears now, okay? And we're just going to be talking about business and being a merchant in general, and how the statutory jurisdiction has squeezed us into submission for this. So if you have a calculator and a piece of paper and a pen, write this down. I'm giving you game today. I'm absolutely am. And I've been doing this a long time to know what I'm talking about. The first thing that I really want to talk about is how the statutory business model in your state bleeds you dry while keeping you powerless. Because starting a business in the statutory world sounds easy. I mean, they make it easy, don't you? I mean, all you got to do is just give them a call. But you got to realize that it's really just a setup. If you think that you're going to be legit, really what you're actually doing is signing up for debt, surveillance, and endless government fees. Now, before I even get into this, I want to start off by saying being sovereign literally means being independent. Independence means starting a business. Whether you watch this channel or other channels, you'll hear the same mantra being repeated over and over. If you want to be sovereign, you need to stop working for other people. Period, bar none. You got to be independent. And independence means learning this credit game. You hear every guru say, you got to learn about the credit game, man. You got to learn how to discharge and whatever. Well, if you're going to learn all that, but still decide to be an employee and dedicate hours of your life into the rat race slave system, then don't even bother with the movement, man. Seriously, you have to be independent. You have to step out. And really, it's your first leap of faith, right? It's your faith in yourself. It's confidence that you're going to be your only sole provider for your future, which is scary. I remember when I first did that, let me tell you. But when I first went and believed in myself and took that first step out, let me tell you, the system doesn't want you to do that. They want to make it so difficult for you to be independent and statutorily crush you to the point to where your spirit is crushed, you're not motivated, you feel powerless, to where you don't want to try again. And then they slap you with so much debt that if you even think about being independent enough again, financially, it'll put you into ruins and scar you to where you won't even want to try. And this is how they do it. This is how they do it. Number one, you need to have articles of organization. Okay, we got to break this down. You need articles of organization. We're talking about just the statutory right now. Articles of organization, that's like $500 to $800. It's a one-time fee to put these articles of organization together. Okay, so write that down. Be on the high end. Say it's $800. Okay, then you need what's called a registered agent for your business. This is a person that helps with the registration. It's anywhere between $150 to $300 a year for this registered agent, because you need to update your organization, right, on a yearly basis. Then that wasn't enough. Now you got to go and get the business license, right, through your city, your county, or even your state. There's $500 right off the top. Okay, so now you got 800, about 300 a year, another $500. You're well over $1,000 already. Okay, then you got franchise taxes, or you got your annual reports. There's another $800 a year. I know that some people are just like, oh, my franchise is 10 annual reports, I'm only at $100 or whatever like that. Like, okay, granted, if you make less than $20,000 in a year, it's going to be $100. But if you're bringing in a reasonable amount of money, 20 grand and above, you're at $800 a year. I mean, they're squeezing you with these franchise taxes. Then you have to get, you're subject to sales tax permits, right? They're required in many states. So now you have a percentage of your sales that have to be to tax, which what does most people do? They extend that to the consumer. But nonetheless, it's something that you got to bleed out. Then you got bank requirements. In order for you to get a business checking account, which, by the way, takes a certain amount for a deposit, it's a very nominal amount, but still required. But the bank requires that you must provide a state UBI number, a universal business index number, which binds you to their statutory jurisdiction. So just off of that quick amount that I'm not even done yet. That's just to start. So right out the gate, you're already almost thousands of dollars out of pocket just to get permission to permission slip to operate. And once you're in, you're stuck. Your records are public. Your assets are exposed. You're taxed before you even profit, and you're regulated before you grow, and you're penalized before you're even successful. This isn't freedom, man. This is contractual servitude dressed up as business ownership. All right. So that's going to the second problem, right? Which is what I was talking about the last couple of weeks, the merchant processing racket. I didn't even talk about the racket. So I thought, this is the perfect time. And that has to do with your swipe fees and your reserves and the lockdowns. Okay. Oh, you remember going into the bank and be like, hey man, I just want me get me a business bank account. And the banker's like, no problem. You need to set up your business. Thanks for giving your UBI number and all that jazz from the Secretary of State. Hey, I got a really great offer for you. Since you're a brand new business, you're going to need merchant processing, right? How are you going to accept people's debit and credit cards? Oh, I haven't thought about that. Well, at our bank, we supply you Clover. We supply you Stripe. We supply you PayPal. Some of them say we supply you our own bank, branded merchant processing software, and we make it easy for you to sign up because we just approved you by coming into bank. Sounds like a good deal, right? How convenient. Well, once your statutory business is active and you're wanting to accept these payments and you start accepting these mainstream processors, guess what they're going to charge you? They're going to charge you 2.9% on all of your transactions, plus 30 cents per transaction on average. It could be as low as 10 cents, as high as 30 cents. I mean, if you're going with Stripe and some others, it's that high, okay? And why do they do the per transaction? Why not just the percentage? Because you might have some items that are $1, right? So they do it per transaction because they don't want to get 3 pennies off of $1. So that's why they do the per transaction. So now they get 30 cents of your $1 bag of chips. And that's why you see at your local convenience stores, when you're buying a bag of chips, why is it $1.30 or $1.50 or anything like that? It's because they have to do the transaction fee, right? Plus, you have an additional 1% for international cards. Did you know that? Oh, I want to get in the international game. Well, we're here to screw you on that too. Plus, The biggest problem, this is why I have a whole private merchant course dedicated to this, about private merchant processing, is these chargeback fees. It's $25 to $50 for every chargeback that you get. Okay. And chargebacks are inevitable. They're going to happen. And the merchant processors know it. So now you get somebody who, at no fault of your own, maybe you're shipping something to them and it doesn't get them into the timely manner that they want. They start doing a chargeback. Not only do you lose the cost of the item and you lose the money that you earned for that item, but now you got to pay $50 to refund them for the chargeback. You're in the negative for the cost of the product plus for the chargeback fee. These public merchant processors, they make it easy for you to sign up for a reason, right? So what else is there? Whoa, what? Wait, there's more? Well, wait, there's more? What about rolling reserves? Rolling reserves are a percentage of your income that's held for 90 to 100 days, 180 days, okay? The rolling reserves from the chargeback company or from the merchant processor companies is there to make sure that you deliver, but also that they hold on to a certain amount of finances so then they always get paid. And that you're not just going to charge someone's card, take the money, run away, and then destroy the relationship with the merchant processor. So these merchant processors that make it easy for you to sign up, because they don't do their due diligence, they just sign you up immediately because they're just a numbers game. They have what's called the reserves. So now can you imagine, like, you're just doing business and you're finally making sales and you're like, oh, finally I'm getting something in, and right off cap, they're taking 25% of your, initial income just to have it as a, just in case we don't trust you. So we got to have rolling reserves in case you bolt on us. So then, we got it. It's our insurance policy. You're like, wow, man, it's 25% of my income. And I just brought in 10 grand this month, right? Life-changing, very life-changing, right? So there you go. And if your chargeback ratio, and remember what your chargeback ratio is if it hits even 1%, you're flagged as high risk. So if you got 10 transactions for the month and you get one chargeback, you're high risk. They can freeze your funds, suspend your account, or shut you down with no warning and also no appeal. Okay. On top of that, they also control your merchant category code. That's your MCC, which they can limit your ability to scale, advertise, or even receive your payouts if you sell controversial spaces like health, finance, sovereignty. They'll blacklist you altogether. Okay. You're not the merchant to them. You're the product. You're the money. You're the money on hold. You're the data. You're the one that's for sale. You're the business. And that's what makes you completely vulnerable. They're treating you like cattle, and they can do whatever they want with you because they run the industry. All right, so now we covered business registration. We covered the merchant thing. But wait, is there more, Paul Michael? Oh, yeah, you better believe there's more. What about the business credit industry lie, right? Let's say you want to build business credit, right? Oh, well, I can't use personal credit, man, to go ahead and get my business up and running. I got to use business credit, right? Well, good luck doing that in the public without breaking the bank, because in order for you to do that, you got to do the following. I'm going to list it out for you. Another big racket, okay? First thing is, and let's just start off with this premise. You don't know what you don't know, right? My father used to tell me that. He's like, son, it's not that you're dumb. It's not that you just don't know what you don't know. No one taught you. No one grabbed your hand and said, hey, son, this is what you need to do. This is the right way to do business. You don't know what you don't know, right? So what do you got to do? You got to rely on other people that do know, consultants, software platform, whatever, right? Mostly consultants to kind of get you up to speed on what the basics are. Maybe you buy a book, one of the two, okay? So one of the things that these consultants go ahead and do is they nickel and dime you to give you really basic information, which is called optimization of a profile, okay? Every single bank has underwriter requirements, and really the underwriter requirements from the get-go, there's many of them, but from the get-go are the optimization of your business profile. So what the consultants do is they charge you for you to just know general knowledge. They charge you to say, oh, well, you need to know how to register with Dun & Bradstreet. Oh, you need to know how net 30 accounts work. Okay, so now you're paying $200 to know about Dun & Bradstreet. You're paying $500 for you to know about the Paydex scoring system and the net 30 accounts, the net 60 accounts. Then you got to buy this stupid business credit builder software, which, by the way, you know what the business credit software is? I have looked into this subject so deeply. I looked at everybody on the internet, okay? And again, if you want to prove me wrong, go ahead and look for yourself. You know what business credit software is? It's software that you sign up for that has all of these little, software steps, right? Oh, this is what you need. And it just has a bunch of website addresses, right? And references. What you're supposed to do is go to those sites, do all the work, don't get education on it, just say you need to do this step and whatever. And then you're supposed to feed the software system with your own data. And what they do is they partner with the consultants that charge you an arm and a leg to give you the knowledge and the full step-by-step. And then they sell you the software system. So then it complements what the consultant is telling you. And then all the software system does is give you a guesstimated fundability rate. Oh, because you ticked off A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, your fundability rate could be here. Is it a guarantee? No, because you got to ask the bank, right? Or what your consultant would say, you got to pay me more money and I'll tell you what your score says. So it's a racket. It's between the two, and this is how they get more money on the consulting and how they sell software at the same time, because the software is what? The subscription model, right? That's why Netflix and Amazon and everybody's moving towards subscription models, right? So they get you on a subscription and they still got you by the balls with the consulting, okay? So now you got to pay this, $400 a month. It's seriously $250 to $400 a month business credit builder software. Then you got to hire that credit consultant. You're 10 grand. Just throw 10 grand out. 2,000 to 10,000. Honestly, it's going to be 10 grand with the amount of information you need to know, right? Then you need to pay for all the additional things that they require you to pay for anyways, and because there's steps to optimizing the profile. Hey, you need a website, right? You got to pay for a website regardless. The consultant's not going to build it for you. He's going to oh, you obviously need a website. I'm like, oh, so now I got not only your expenses, but also now I got to get additional ones. The business credit industry is $1 billion cash flow cow. It sells you as an entrepreneur the illusion of funding. Meanwhile, 95% of the people never get the true business capital because they're trapped in the statutory grid that are flagged by banks, and you're using inconsistent information because the consultant is just pulling information with no organization. It's just a conversation. There's no structure to your education. And why do they do this? Because everything's, or why is this the case? Is because everything's tied to your public EIN and your public business entity that's registered with your state. And this is what's making you a high-risk borrower by default. Isn't that wild? you did everything right. You registered with the state. You did all the things right that you were supposed to. And because you did everything that way, the bank looks at you as high risk. Oh, you got too much liability. The state can go after you. This software company is draining your finances. You got too much entangled in the private merchant processing with the reserves that they're holding and the percentage fees that they're doing. And it looks like that your consulting didn't give you the information that you need to really optimize properly and all that. All of it's, you have nothing but be discouraged, right? You're just sitting there and you're just like, why did I even try? And your wife's yelling at you or your spouse because you took a limb to go do things as thoroughly and as correct as possible for the betterment of both of your lives and your family unit that you started. And now you're screaming in debt. And now what do you got to do now that you're in debt and you got to use your personal credit card because it took you time to get the business credit. Now you're in personal credit card debt. Now what are you going to do? Now you're in this personal credit card debt. Guess what the consultant's going to say? Hey, come to me if you want credit restoration, personal credit restoration, because you spent all your personal credit on your business. You know what I mean, man? I've been doing this a while. I see the writing on the wall. That's why when people came to me years ago that I want to start a business, I was like, oh my God, dude, you may not have any idea. And I'm not laughing at people. I really have heart for this. I really do care. I honestly do care about this situation. And that's why the inception of Creditor Academy exists, is to solve this exact issue. From the business licensing, the articles of organization, to the registered agent, all the things that you need to get the business started, from everything from the merchant processing world where they screw you on every single transaction, they reserve your accounts, they do the transaction fees, and they also, pigeonhole you with your data, to finally the business credit stuff and the optimizer profile. Those three together, I mean, they're billion-dollar industries each. Each of them is billions upon billions of dollars worth of industries. Together, all three of them are $1 trillion industry. It's a racket of the statutory system, and they got everybody in the same rat race going through the same funnel. It was actually really masterfully built, on how they did that. So at Creditor Academy, we want to fix all of that, every single one. So what we did is we put everything that I just described, from the inception of the private entity to getting up your private merchant account, and to get everything for the optimization of your profile. And we automated it and put it all into Masterclass. Masterclass is the most comprehensive program when it comes to solving this issue. We did not focus on software systems and consultation. What we focused on was education and everything that you need to go private, all in one place. Masterclass is the embodiment of not only what you're going to be learning, but what through our learning management system, but we also gamified it. We are the first ever gamified Sovereignty Academy. We built our own football game to go along with it. And everything that you learn within Masterclass is covered inside of our core courses. And here are our core courses. First of all, operate private. This is everything to get your business trust set up. I give you the declaration of trust document, all right? Right off the bat. I teach you how to get an EIN number. I teach you how to open up a business checking account with any major bank that's in your local area, already set up into this. And we put ourselves a business address that's attached to it, that's in a domicile of a state that's friendly specifically to business trust. So right off the bat, you don't have to do that business licensing. You don't have to do all of this registered agent stuff. You don't have to worry about the franchise taxes, the annual reports, the sales tax permits, the banking requirements of the UBI number, or the articles of organization. All of it is given to you with your Masterclass membership under Operate Private. The next thing that we do is the private merchant course. You can accept payments privately, process without with or without the banks. You can accept crypto, ACH, and invoicing all in the private, and you can use your business trust to activate and create your own private merchant processing. Amazing. So now you don't have those high fees of that 3.9% with the 30 cents for every transaction. You don't have the additional 1% for the international cards. You don't have that ridiculous $25 to $50 chargeback fees. You don't have to worry about the 10 to 25% rolling reserves for 90 to 120 days. And there's no hidden, there's no PCI compliance fees, statement fees, monthly fees, batch fees, or anything like that. All built within the private merchant course. And then finally, our biggest and most robust project yet, really to change the game, is unlimited credit. Building unlimited credit, which is unlocking the access to trade lines and high limit cards and strategic business credit tools. We help you with the credit system from tier 1 or tier 0, which is the optimization to your profile, all the way up to tier 4. We help you with DUNS registration. We talk about net 30, net 60, net 90 trade lines, crediting monitoring tools, and community bank playbook. We put this all and give it to you for $69 a month on our Masterclass. I can't tell you, I am so passionate about fixing this issue. This has been my most robust ambition at 84 full-time staff at Creditor Academy to put this together. We have subject matter experts like instructors that are professionals at each one of these courses. We have instructional designers who put together the learning management system for the full step-by-step tools. We have a video production team to put together the videos for the whole step-by-step process to get you through the academy with ease and expertise so you don't feel lost or left behind. I invested by hiring AI professionals to put in AI bots for each of the lesson plans so then you can go ahead and make sure that if you have a question at 2 a.m. and you have no one to call, you have an AI chatbot that's ready to be like, hey, I see you're on this lesson. And the only thing that AI knows is exactly that lesson. We don't pull outside of the internet to try to teach you. It only knows what it's supposed to teach you and help you from there. And on top of it, we added gamification because, you know, sometimes taking tests and quizzes is a little boring, right? You're like, okay, true, false, multiple choice, write an answer, essay, and all that. So why not make it fun? So I hired gaming experts to go ahead and create a game after the #1 sport in America, which is American football. Oh, gosh, so nothing more American and sovereignty related than a good football game, right? Seahawks haven't been doing anything. Anyways, I won't get into the Seahawks. You know, it's a love-hate relationship, right? I love them still, though. But yeah, I take your education seriously, but I want to beat this system too, and I need to make it cost-effective. Finally, everything that you learn at this academy, we follow a mantra, a quote that I say very often within the academy, which is each one, teach one. You know, if I show you how to do these business trusts, if I show you how to go ahead and optimize a profile, if I show you how to get into the private merchant world so you can accept payments and these financial systems can't shut you down. Bring people in your community and help them out as well. Teach others. And we're here to back you and to help you effectively just by going through our entry-level courses, not even including enrolling into our full course. You can learn beyond just the entry level by enrolling into the Operate Private full course. We go super deep into business trusts and private membership associations and how to operate with your trusts, with real estate, automobiles, and so much more, and deal with taxes. And also, you can enroll into the full business credit, where we'll go beyond just the optimization of the tier profile and go to tier 1 through tier 4. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's so thorough. You also have live courses with our instructors Monday through Friday. We have 5 classes live almost every single day, and experts that you can ask. So we're trying to create an ecosystem that's friendly to all, no matter what walk of life that you're into. If you're tired of waiting, if you want action and you want knowledge, but you want it in an easily digestible format and someone who takes education seriously, Creditor Academy, a private Montessori association, which we focus on the Montessori model, is really, I would say, give us a try. Give us not just a try, but to commit to us. Commit to us for a period of time. Don't just jump in, look at our lesson plans and say, oh, here's this, here's that. Like, actually commit to our program, and we can get you success. And we're committed to not only put together this much of a robust platform, but we're also committed to seeing that you make it to the finish line, to graduation. With that being said, everybody, if you have not hit that like, notification bell, or the subscribe button, now would be the time to do it. But also, I'd be so excited for you to join us on Masterclass and get to see the amazing community that is here at Creditor Academy. If you would like to join Masterclass, go to www.creditoracademy.com, hit the Masterclass and the join now, and I will see you inside of our other courses that we have. Until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Amazing. There we go. There's the big picture. Wow. Oh, a lot.